Well, hello, this is Rochelle, and welcome to my channel. This is a bit of a longer video for my Exodus study, and the reason is that I am spending it in acrylic paints, and that generally always just turns out to be longer because I just love the process. And so this is a very similar video to a collab that Henri and I did, Henri from Painted Lemons, and I did, where we did the acrylic books and little teacups that is on top of the acrylic books. And for this specific Exodus piece, the reason why I chose this is because it speaks a whole lot about a whole lot of laws. And so when I thought of this piece in the Bible, this is right after the 10 commandments were given. When I think of this piece and what it signifies and why it's important, why God gives us laws, is specifically and particularly the if you've ever been in a library or even in a legal office, if you've ever been in a legal office, there is usually, bookshelves with lots and lots of books on it. And all of these books speak of different facets of the law. And so that's kind of what I had in my mind when I wanted to do this piece or this page in my Exodus study. So I'm going to be creating books. I didn't want to do the teacups again, obviously, because there's already a video of that. And I've got a page like that. And I don't mind doing pages kind of over and over again, but just trying something different this time. And just wanted to do something pretty with books. So I could have done a bookshelf, it could have worked too, but in this case what I'm going to do is each of these little headings of these pieces in this page I'm going to be using as the title sort of a book. And then on top of these books I am doing a vase with some lavender branches on. I do link the colors of DecoArt I'm using for all of these books, and I am also putting it on the screen. Hopefully that helps. So it's mostly just a variance of colors, and then I like mixing the color for the wall in the back just so that it gives it some depth and it doesn't look as flat and two-dimensional when you see it the first time. So we're going to be working a bit more on the books just now. First I'm trying to draw out this vase with lavenders. Funny thing is, I kind of had this discussion with my husband when I went to go show him this page that I did. He said that it looked like Proteus, which I have no idea where he got that, but there was a vase with Proteus in front of me when I was doing this, so he might think that that's what I try to do. Hopefully you can see that this is lavenders and not Proteus. And so we learn. So the significance of this page for me in this Exodus study, Grace is at it again. And she is mowing away while I'm trying to do a voiceover. The significance of this, and I think I said it with going through the 10 commandments as well, is that you can look at the law and be completely overwhelmed knowing that you'll never be able to do it. Well, I don't know about you, but I definitely am. I'm overwhelmed at all the do's and don'ts because I know that I will not be able to keep it for even just one day. There's that little saying that says, Lord Jesus, today, I haven't sinned, I haven't cursed, I haven't had a bad thought. Help me to continue this, and then I got out of bed, kind of thing. That's where I'm at. There isn't a day that I can wake up with the best of intentions and the intention of being the perfect mother and perfect wife and perfect everything, but the minute my foot gets out of bed, kind of thing, even before then, sometimes I've already sinned in my thoughts and in my actions. And yes, as a Christian, should we just now, because there's grace, decide to sin all the more? No, that's not what it says. But what it does say is that we are covered. God's got our backs. He made a plan for our redemption. We strive to not sin because God hates sin, and we love God, so we want to do what is in his heart for us to do. But I don't know about you, I don't get that right every day. I really don't. For the art here, just quickly, I'm using my FaberCastell Pitt Artist pen to create the stems of these lavender branches, leaves, stems, I don't know what you call it, clusters. And I'm just putting those stems in with a green FaberCastell pen and blending it in. I'm putting it in between some of the little white spaces so that it looks continuous and like a whole filled out bunch of lavender, and not just a few scrawny little stems. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking a purple similar to well, I'll do that just now. First, I'm going to take this brown and I'm going to be edging the sides of these books just to give them some shadow and some three-dimensional effect, and define them a bit more in the sense of where they start and where they stop, that it's not just a few colored lines on this page, but that it is actually separate elements on this page. And then I'm just drawing the sides or the tops and the bottoms of these books, you know, like they would probably look if they were stacked, assuming that they had those edges. So they're just the decorative elements on the book pieces. So varying widths, varying amounts of lines, you know, just having fun with it. And then I'm taking the gold metallic ink acrylic paint. It's like an ink this is ink. It's from Windsor Newton in a gold, and I am just applying that with a very thin brush, detail brush. And then I'm also adding some of it onto the sides of these books and blending it in, literally just rubbing it all over the side of the book, so that it is it looks a bit aged. Is the word that comes to my mind when I think of why I'm doing it. The reasoning is for it to look a bit aged. There you go. I sound very, very educated now. It's aged. Then I'm taking the white and I'm just adding some little white highlights to these lavenders. I am putting it on with a paintbrush and then kind of just dabbing it with my finger so that it's not as stark, the contrast, but that it is just kind of blended in there as a highlight. And then I'm also putting it on some of these books in between these lines so that it has a further element to it, or something to it, a little piece of the picture, just decorating these books. And then, like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be writing or taking this FaberCastell Pitt Artist pen in a purple that matches the vase, and I'm going to be applying it on the one side and blending it with my finger so that it's the shadowy side of the vase, and as though the light comes from the right side of this picture, adding white ink then to that side and blending it so that it looks like light and shadow on the back side. And then I'm taking the headings of these little chapters or passages on this page and writing it in different fonts, different styles, different colors onto the books, like as though it was the name of the book. So like I said, I can't keep the law 100% by myself. I absolutely, thoroughly, definitely need God in my life, who is fighting for me, so that I can when I do fail, be covered by grace. Speaking of grace, she's wanting attention, and so she's meowing a whole lot. The kids are away for the weekend, so I think she misses them, and that's why she's so attention-seeking here with her mom. Also writing some of these names in a in a vertical way, so that it looks as though the name is upside when the book is upside. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. Taking my metallic jelly roll and adding some just different headings so that the headings look like different books written by different people on this piece. And that is that for the art side, I would say. If you haven't done so yet and you weren't too put off by all my ramblings, do hit the like and subscribe button and then that notification button to know when future videos are coming. I try and post on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday for Bible journaling. And then on a Saturday, I do a series on memory keeping in a traveler's notebook. So I hope to see you again soon. And that is that. Bye-bye.